Alex McCord and Simon Van Kempen. Hello!
Hi there.
Hi, Becca. How are you?
Welcome in. Simon, that song is catchy, my friend.
It is very, very catchy. You know, I had a number of fans, women from across the world, tweet back to me that they would work out to being I Am Real.
I know, apparently it's in spin classes worldwide.
I was going to say, I kind of want to hop on my bike right now and do some uphill, downhill, out of the saddle, because, or some Zumba moves.
Even Alex has worked out to it, haven't you?
Although this is showing that I don't do spin because I have no idea what in the saddle means. It sounds dirty though.
It does. Well, it is. It gets a little dirty, especially when it's
Sweaty,
Lady Regent
dirty.
too. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. Okay, all right. Hey, if you want to talk to Alex and Simon, best known from the Real Housewives of New York City on Bravo, you can call us right now, 438-WPRO, 1-800-321-WPRO. That's 9776 for those scoring. Town for Style Week Providence. You're the Style Week ambassadors. Is this your first time in Providence ever?
No, actually, it's our third. We hosted Style Week a year ago, last January, and we made a quick stop through Providence on our honeymoon, believe it or not.
Get out of
Almost
here.
12 years ago. Yeah, well, because I was on a fiancé visa when we got married, I actually couldn't leave the country on our honeymoon, so we did a road trip through New England. It was fun. And it was one of the trips we wouldn't have done but for not being able to leave the country, and it was great.
It was a nice domestic trip.
Yeah, it was.
Together.
It was fun because we rented a car. It was the early days of GPS. So
Yeah.
we used to try and get the GPS lost.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
Actually, my GPS sounds a lot like you. I want the audience, for those that don't watch, because there are some that are listening right now that don't watch the Real Housewives.
Out,
That,
really?
you know, I know you're shocked.
No.
O-face. Oh my God, no. But there are some that don't, and maybe they don't follow the news as close as maybe we do when it comes to the Real Housewives. But along with you two, Jill Zarin, Kelly Ben Simone, and Cindy Barshop, you're not returning.
Correct.
A fifth season. And now, was that like a mutual decision, or was that sort of you
no.
guys, or
No,
how did that all come about?
Bravo made the decision to recast. It's no surprise that last season the viewers and reviewers, critics alike, said that the season was getting really, really dark, and it did. There was a lot of acrimony, a lot of fighting, and you know, I hate to say it, but I think in a way we were sort of collateral damage. But Simon,
Look,
you want to
I
weigh
think
in?
after 4 years, and you know, 4 years on any TV program is a long time.
It
And
is.
you know, in the fourth season, there was Ramona, Alex, Jill, and Luann, or the Countess, all originals. And I think, you know, 4 years with 4 women on the same TV program, it needed to be
Do
mixed.
reality
Turtle
TV.
time.
Well, yes, of course. But
Yeah.
part of what makes reality TV successful, particularly when it's satirical reality TV, is to retain people that don't really have a sense of irony, that don't really understand how things are being put
I know
together.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know who are you talking about there?
Lulu.
There are people who, I don't know, reality TV in a way, it feeds on
Spit it out, darling. You're speaking
delusion.
about Luann, aren't you?
And there are some very deluded people in our cast, and they make fantastic TV. So I wish them all the best with season 5, and I dust it off my shoulder and move on.
Moving on is right. And you said satirical reality TV, meaning...
Well, if you think about it, look at a lot of what's out there. Look at the Toddlers and Tiaras. Look at the... Dance Moms, which I haven't seen, but...
The marriage of Kim Kardashian.
That too.
Mob Wives.
It's very farcical. It's taking real people and real situations.
I
Like, it's
also-
like feeding the Christians to the lions.
I also call it heightened reality. I mean, it's reality under a microscope. You only see the best, and more often than not, the worst.
Yeah, and what you just said, it's all in the editing, too. You know, don't you think a lot of it's in the editing?
Look, you see selective scenes, and so when you see an argument, the viewers see the argument starting at 9 and suddenly going to 10, or they might see it at 1 and miss out on the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then see it blast off, and you wonder, well, hold on, how did it get from that, you know, last scene, Alex and Jill, for example, were talking, and now they're at each other's throats. Well, what happened in between?
Well, and that's where people sometimes throw around the term faux reality, which is, the best way to describe it is that what we live through when we shoot is what we are actually living through.
When
It's
is
real.
the return of Alex and Simon to television? What's next?
At the moment, I like to say that we're dating. We've been very lucky that after the news came out that we wouldn't be on the next season, our phone started ringing.
Off the hook, I'm sure.
We have met with a lot of people, and we have a lot of potential development deals at the moment. We haven't made a decision yet, but as Simon has said before, it really needs to be right, not only for us, but for the kids, because they're old enough to understand now.
Yeah, when we signed up originally, they were 0, 2, 1, and 3 when we started filming. They're now 6 and 8, and they definitely have to have an input now that they couldn't have had then. And so, you know, while we would like to do something on TV again, it has to be right both for us and for them. And if we do something, it has to be with friends, people that we already know, and not a construct of a cast put together with the hope that there's going to be fireworks. I think fireworks,
be organic.
Absolutely. I think you know, if we do reality TV again, I want to put the real back in reality and not a 72-day marriage.
Looking at the two of you, having you in our studio right now, you just get along really well. You know, and I mean, you look at a lot of couples in the spotlight. We, my first half hour, we spoke to In Touch Weekly senior editor Kim Seraphin about Seal and Heidi Klum looking, you know, they always seemingly are so happy and smiling. How do the two of you keep it together so well in the spotlight?
One of the things I think we're very lucky about is that our career in the spotlight has been together. If you take a Heidi Klum and a Seal, they have two separate careers, although they have a marriage that they have to sort of bring to the middle of that. Our public life has been as a team, and that's really helped.
I think the viewers took a lot of stick with me in the first couple of seasons because, hold on, this is a Real Housewives show. Why are you on the show so much? Now, listen, I don't edit the show, so if I'm in the show so much, that's the producer's choosing. But that being said, because Alex and I were on together so much, you know, when we got beaten up, we were both beaten up. When we were loved, we were both loved. And, you know, I wouldn't say Housewives, the franchise, has caused the demise of marriages, but we've seen Simon and Tamara from the OC break up. We've seen Nene and Greg from Atlanta.
I think Lisa from Atlanta.
Lisa from Atlanta as well. And I think that those situations, you know, didn't cause their breakup, but because they were on the show differently, and one star was rising and one wasn't getting all the publicity and all the press, I think that sort of exacerbated the fissures that there might have been in their marriages already.
Well, reality TV, as you said before, puts a microscope on real life, and whatever dirty little things are in your closet, whatever things you don't want to deal with are going to come straight out and you have to confront them. And if there's any strife going on, it is amplified. If it's good, if it's bad, it's all going to come out. And I do think that reality TV either brings people closer together or drives them apart. And so far, knock on wood, we're one of the lucky ones.
You touched on this, when you met. I'm fascinated by how people meet. How did you guys even meet?
Online. I was visiting the States. I'd been living in London for 13 years. I'd moved back to Australia, working on a job there. I'd only been there for 2 months when I came to New York for 3 weeks. On my third day at 7 o'clock Sunday morning on May 27th, 1999, this woman was joining a website called Matchmaker.com. And she was younger than my demographic, but I was not looking for a life partner. I was looking for a bit of fun.
And I think he liked my essay answers.
I did.
You guys got real.
We met 3 days later in person and basically have been inseparable ever since, and I love you so much.
Oh, I love you too, honey.
Oh, thank you guys. This was great. Thank you so much for joining us and coming in, and we will keep watching.
Absolutely.
And putting the real, as Simon says, back in reality television. I look forward to that.